Hello, everyone. How you doing? It's been quite a day. I first of all, I got up. I want to welcome you to my Sew and Talk Tuesdays. It's where I talk with you, chat, maybe work on a project, maybe show you something, or we talk about other topics. That happens. We always seem to go to food someplace in the chat, but it has been quite a day. And I want to welcome, let me see, Melanie, I'm going to welcome. She was the first one in the chat. And I see that Joe from Vintage Style by Joe's here. Hi, Joe. Hi, Melanie. Glad to see that you joined me. Yeah, like I said, it has been quite a day. I woke up, I had like 2:30 in the morning. I had heartburn. So I couldn't go back to sleep. So I thought, finally, I just decided I'm going to get up. I'm going to get up and see if that helps. And I took a little bit of something to help my stomach, and it did help. I realized that what it was is that the medication I'm on for my stomach that I've been on for a long time, a couple of years, has run out, and I forgot to get it refilled. So I got to do that because evidently my stomach doesn't like certain things and it gets irritated. I'm sure everybody knows. Hi, Laura. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well today. I hope your test turned out fine for you and that. But I, more than anything, just want you to have a good day. So I had done, well, first of all, I got a new computer. I got a new um, Mac Pro, iMac Pro book, and I have iPads and iPhones, but I haven't ever had the Mac computers and that. And today we'll see how well it goes, but I am filming from my iMac. I had quite a few difficulties with my technology today while I was setting up. I probably spent over an hour and I couldn't get it to sync and do things. I mean, the Mac computer came right on. That wasn't a problem. But then I had it. I scheduled these StreamYards and for YouTube, and it didn't show it. So I had to go in and delete the one I had scheduled off of YouTube and reschedule this one before anybody noticed. But anyhow, it's working. I'm got a visual. I got my iPad so I can see the chat. So, oh, so Laura, your test took about 5 hours. You said that it was going to take quite a while, that you was going to spend most of the day in testing. That's, yes, we hope that they find out and get back to you very quickly on this, that you don't have to wait and that. So I had, yeah, Melanie, it is too early to get up, but I did take a little snooze about 9:30, and that refreshed me, and that helped a lot. Oh, so, hi, so Terry, how you doing? Um, you says the storm is coming. Be listening and lurking. Okay, be safe. Keep an ear open for, or watch the TV, listen to the news so that you know you're okay. And Judy Smith's here. Hi, Judy. Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the channel today. I was just filling everybody in on my day so far, which has been a good day. Hey, I didn't get frustrated over it all. All I thought is I got to get this together. Somehow I have to have one computer that will let me live stream. And I did get that. I thought if I don't get anything else, that's fine. So I'm good. So what have you all been up to today? Anyone sewing? Okay, Laura said, I'm reading what Laura said. Okay, good. I'm glad, Laura, that it was just in the swallow test, and hopefully they get right back to you. Hey, Jean, how you doing? I hope everything's good with you and your husband, and that he's come through with his procedures fine. I have a lot of people in prayer going on right now, but I good. I'm glad that you're stitching in that. I miss you, but definitely understand. Well, this week or last week, I'll go back before the 4th. I had we went to Ohio. I have family up there. I have a sister, a brother, a brother-in-law, a son and his wife, and 3 of his sons, and 2 great grandsons. And my youngest of my grandsons, um, my regular grandsons, not my greats, but my regular, he graduated this year. And so they were having an open house. I don't know if everybody knows what an open house is, but it's where they rent a hall or they have it at their house, and people and friends and family will come there and help them celebrate their graduation, their achievement. And we have food. She had really good food. She did good. That was hi Tammy, just in case. Hi Brandon and Randy. Just wanted to say that it was a great time while I was there. I know, Jean. I was in near Cortland, Ohio, near Youngstown. So I know you're pretty well south from there. If I ever come up through the south, I'm going to in contact with you. Yeah, it was really nice. They had we decorated the day before, and they had all his pictures growing up, and they had 2 computer monitors, and on a stick was all his different pictures of him from a baby growing up. And he is a guitar player. He's very, very, very talented. And so he had his guitar on display. And he also did Rubik's Cubes. And he went into competitions, and he had like 3 first place trophies there. So anyhow, that was fun. I got to see my sister there. I got a good visit in with her. I was able to see the people my neighbors, old neighbors. We went around the area to where the house that my husband and I lived in when we first got married, and we took video of that. And then we went into Cortland. See, that was Southington. We went into Cortland, took pictures of that house. And so, anyway, it rained most of the time. It was overcast most of the time. I forgot that part of Ohio, Northeast Ohio, has a lot of cloud cover. That's why they have the Ravenna Arsenal was there, because it's a natural cloud cover. So they stored ammunition there years ago. I don't know if they do that now. It's still open, but I don't know if they do that. Hi, how you doing? You know what? It's Garden Quilt and Arts Show. I need to know your first name, or give me, oh, Auntie M. Or no, it's Auntie Ellen. Thank you for coming. Welcome. I'm just chatting away. So anyway, one of the highlights is that on Monday, the day before we were leaving to come back to North Carolina, I met up with Mona from Mona Did What? So I met her. We met at a place called Mocha House, which has been there for years, and it's a great place. Atmosphere, coffee, everything, desserts. So we had tea and coffee and sweets, and we visited. We probably was there for about an hour. Mona is exactly what you see. Exactly. Um, um, she's a very nice person, very easy to talk with. And it was nice to get to sit down and see her face to face. And I hope to be able to see many more of you in my future. I see that Katie, the Greenland Quilter's here. Hi, Katie. Hope you're doing well and got some rest, because I know you did a late night um, a late night live this last week, so you've got to be tired. Um, oh, let me see. I'm going to read privately about Jean's husband here. Jean, God bless you. Being a caretaker takes a lot of energy and strength to do that. And your outlet is your stitching, which I'm grateful that you have. Okay, so let's get on with something here. Okay, so I told you about my day. Oh, I got 3 quilts binded this last week. I did one customer quilt. I got it quilted and finished. I did a work in process. It doesn't have a name, but it's the one that Katie the Greenland Quilter. It's a sew along with the charms that we're turning into a quilt. Told you about my Ohio trip, my computer, and I'm gonna show you what else here. I did this paper piece. I found this. I'll show you here. Look at this. This is 3.5 inch. So it'd be 3-inch finished. And and I got the little pattern, but I can do, I think they have 3, 5, 6, and 8 finished. But I decided I wanted to challenge myself and do the tiny things. So this week, what I did is I took my small scraps that I had, and I divided them up in colorways. And I then took a little piece of fabric and stapled it to the plastic bag, and I put it set them up right in a container, so it's really easy to find. But they're smaller. They're smaller than the 2.5 inch wide. So I thought, perfect. So I pulled out my green bag and I did a green one. Pulled out my pink bag, did the pink one. And I don't know, I think these would be cute if I wanted to do a little tiny border around it, make a little little something or something, table runner, or just make a quilt put together. So anyway, I did that, and I'm seeing, oh, Jess is here. Thanks, Jess, for coming. Oh, Rita. Hi, Rita. Glad you're here. Thank you. So what I did is I got this pattern, and I'm sorry that I don't have the information of where I had gotten it. But what I did is I took and printed off one. No, I printed off 6. Cut them out, put them on main paper. So then I could make this so that I had those to cut up for these. So I think I did 10 pages, so I'll make something out of it. But one thing is, I figured it's those little scraps I've got that once they get down and I'm not adding nothing to them, they go somewhere. Whoever wants them. Hi, Jim. Welcome to the chat. Glad to see you here today. Okay, so your husband is older than you, Jean. Well, he's done well then. I mean, he's got a lot of issues, but to be 84, it's good. Rita's stuck in. I'm not sure where I learned what I heard with that. Hey, I want to show you what I'm going to do, what I came across. I came across these. I made this before. They're little coasters. Okay, I did 4 of them. Then I did a little tray to keep them in. And what I did is, if I wanted to do it as a gift, I actually did, this is embroidery thread. I did the embroidery thread through all of them and tied it. Then they don't fall apart. But if I wanted to, I can snip that and actually use these. And then I did the embroidery thread on the corners. So I thought this would be something good just to show you what I'm doing. Now, I have to let you know, the reason why I kind of did this too, I came across this, but I had so many of these left over. How many of you have things like this? What about this? Okay. You do a 4 patch, or you got 2.5 inch squares. You make a 4 patch, or you can make half square triangles, and you can cut it. Now you can have this any size that you want. When these are finished, they're finished at, let me think, 4 inches. And I believe I made this little thing at 5.5 or something, 5.5, 6 inches. So the bigger you make this, when you tie this, the more that you can put on here if you need to, or if you want to. That's good, Laura, that you have somebody to, oh, Jean. Hi, Jean Mosley. Welcome. I'm glad to see you here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, because I have these, and I already did one. Let's see. This is the one I did. Okay, so I've got that series going. I think these would make nice little gifts, party gifts, hostess gifts. So anyhow, 4.5. A piece of thin batting, and I made that less than 4.5, because probably about 1/8 of an inch all the way around smaller because I didn't want the seams to be real bulky when I turn it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glue stick and I'm just going to put a little glue there. And I'm doing that just to keep it in place while I move it around. Now this is the right side. Batting's on the bottom. And I'm going to put right sides together with this. And I'll give a clip. Hi, Deb. Welcome. Just doing a little project here. It's not so much a tutorial, it's more so as I go. So I'm just putting a few clips in, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a little opening here so I can turn this inside out. I am doing a 1/4 inch. Let me see if I got this right. I'm doing a 1/4 inch seam. I'm going to. And I like to get to the corners and I like to back stitch. You can either pivot if you're really good at keeping your 1/4 inch. I go forward a little bit and I back stitch again. I just like to reinforce those edges. Make sure that this is straight. Do it again. I'm going to do this on all 3 corners. Yep, it says my upper thread broke. Okay, that's okay, because I can look at the chat, see what you guys are doing. Melanie, hi. What's wrong with your Wi-Fi? This is, I think Mona had technical difficulties this week too. Okay, I'll get this threaded and onward we're going. So anyhow, I still have more scraps to separate, but it sure was nice. And you know, it gives me incentive to want to use them, to where I just had them all in a basket and they were all mixed together, all different sizes, different shapes. Anything that I saw that I could pull that was a block, I pulled that out so that I can put it with something at another time. So but I got a little bit more to do, but it sure cleaned up a lot of mess for me. And I have a plan. I figured I can do those in FPP, or if I want to do my stained glass, because I like to do that look. Okay, so now I'm at the other end and I'm just going to back stitch there just to secure it, because when you turn it, sometimes it wants to give you a little trouble here, you know, might want to pull stitches in that. Get my little threads off. I moved things around. I can't find things now. Do you guys have the same problem? Okay, soda block that I won back in 2020, Deb says. Katie wants to know what kind What kind of block, Deb? Deb says easy one. I love I love it. I'm just trimming my little corners, and you can grade. Grading means that you just kind of I don't know, make that corner a little less bulky. Don't cut through your seams. And this is what you would do if you wanted to give this as gifts or have them for yourself. You would do this particular thing I did 4 times if you wanted to give them 4. Now, keep in mind what you're doing is you're using your scraps up. So you have an opening, and I'm going to go to the furthest corner, and I got my finger there, and I'm going to push it out. Go ahead and push it out more. It seems like if you go to the furthest corner when you want to turn things in and out, it's so much easier. It doesn't get all caught up in itself. And I'm just taking my thumb there. Now, I like to use this. And I'm just working that out. Whoop! I really worked that out. I can fix that. I can fix that. That's what happens when you push too hard and you don't have enough and you cut too much. I need to cut some fabric for the Flower Farm sampler quilt. You know what? I don't know what, I haven't seen that. I finally got the kit yesterday. Well, that sounds like a good one. Okay, I'm just reinforcing this again. I just turned it back the way I should. That's my fault. Just cut it too narrow. Okay. Go back to where I was. Oh, thanks, Deb. Thanks, Katie. Yeah, I could use some watch hours. But I need to be on more, and hopefully with my new computer I can do some pre-records to where I feel more comfortable with editing, but I am not going out there big. Big causes you problems. Okay, so I did this pretty good, got this out. Now I'm just going to take, this needs out a little bit more. I like to take these, this is flat, and then I should have done that before I turned it, and a lot of times I'll fold that. I'm going to fold this a little bit, and I'm going to hit it with my iron. I'll give it a little press here in a sec. And if you see that your corners, you would like them out a little bit more, just go ahead and work them out. You don't have to be as fussy, but I am being that. Now I'm just going to tuck this in, make sure that it's level. I'm going to give it a little press. Okay. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to put a clip there to, now this probably is not going to be perfect by all means because I'm doing it live. But it's just a coaster, right? Just a little rug. Good. I really don't want to edit, but I want, like if I do a pre-record, Deb, I want to be able to, sometimes you do it in segments. It's just easier to go live. I have to tell you that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch this. I'm moving my needle over. Okay, about 1/8 of an inch. And what you may want to do is make sure that you grab your top thread and your bobbin if it's there, and hang on to that so it doesn't get a nest underneath. And I'm just going right along. I'm going to sew. I'm doing 1/8 of an inch so that that seam closes up for me good. Be nice, be nice. I got to go over this little hump here. It's not gonna, doesn't like it. Oh, it gets stuck. That's why. Okay, let's do this again. Fussy, fussy, fussy. Fiddly, fiddly dee. Okay, there I go. And I go to the end. I'll pivot and go around. I'm doing this all the way around. To tell you the truth, the 4 patch is much easier to do than these half square triangles because you don't have the seam matching. See, it wants to hang up on me there. But I thought that was pretty, so I wanted to show you with it like this. And with this one. I'll still put it in with those other ones that are the 4 patches. I got to go over a lump here. Ooh, that may not want to go. Oh, let's see. Okay, get that extra thread out of the way. I'm working it. Yeah. I like the looks of this half square triangles, but I probably, if I opened my seams instead of pressed them to one side, I wouldn't have this bulk issue. Okay, I'm at the end and I'm just gonna do a little reverse, or I can do a stitch that stitches in one area. And that is a coaster done. Like I said, if you were going to do the 4 patches or anything like that, you can just zip right through and give it a little press. It'll look a little bit better if I press it. Let's see. Okay. So this is it. Isn't that cute? Okay, so I do that 4 times if I wanted to do 4. Now, I wanted to show you real quick. Okay, for the bottom piece, I think I made this one a little bit bigger. I made it 6 inches. So I got two pieces that's the same. Now you can have them two different pieces. I'm not going to do this, but I'm going to show you. You put your, I'll make my batting a little smaller too, but you'll put your, you want your batting, if you could have it about 1/8 of an inch less or a little bit more, not quite a quarter, because you want it to catch in your seam, then have it a little bit smaller. So I would take my glue stick and I would glue that down. I'd flip this over, right sides together. I would clip it all, and I would make sure that the part that I leave an opening. Now, if you're afraid that you're not, I'm using this pen, you can do this and just do a little mark here, just to remind you that that's your, that's going to be your opening. So you would stitch all the way around again, like you did before, back stitch at the beginning, back stitch at the end, trim your corners off. I back stitch on my corners again. It's exactly like you did with this. Then what you have is a square that's done. Now I've done part of this already. And I've done, and all I did is embroidery thread, and it's double knotted like a square knot. And I just take this. I'm almost done. Hi Joyce, how you doing? Yeah, Jess is really becoming a designer. I think she needs to put her dresses in a show. You know what? No, I forgot when the state fair is here. That would be very good, Jess, to put yours in the state fair also. So I just use a little clip just to clip it and make it stay for me. And now I'm using like a tapestry needle, but if you have one that has a big eye and a sharper point, it'll be a lot easier on you, because I will struggle. And I'm just finding that, oh, didn't struggle that time. Hey, life's getting better. Except I want it to come in straight. So now I am going to struggle. And I'm just going through both the layers. There. See how I did. Okay, so I'm going to pull that through. I'm going to leave enough that I can tie. And I just did a long string of the embroidery thread so that I could not have to re-thread it through the eye of the needle. And I like to tie it to where it's tied at the top. But you could tie it where it's tied at the bottom. Okay. And you can do any colors that you like. And look at that. Isn't that cute? There I go. It's done, other than I got 3 more to do. But it's not easy. You do as a hostess gift, little Christmas gifts, little gifts for your neighbor. And it did not cost. I did not have to buy anything. I already had it. Okay, Jess, enter. You have to. I know you're going to take for a lot of ribbons. I entered a quilt in the state fair 14 years ago, and it was my New York Beauty, and I got a first place ribbon. I was excited, but you know, your dresses are unique too. So, and you need to do some, some quilts too. But they have different categories than that. I wish I could enter a quilt show in some. Hey, if you want to mail them, but you know how much that costs. That's very expensive for you. Uh, oh, I didn't see your go-go boots, Jess. Now that's you, and it goes with the dress. Right? Yeah. Um, Katie the Greenland Quilter is on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays at 4:30. She has different topics that she does, and Jess, can you put your times in again for me? That would be great if you want to say when you are on and when you and William are on. Any of you, drop your links. I did give a shout out to some of you. I need to do more for more of you. Okay, Joyce, when you come to the States, bring one with you, yes, and leave it with me that you trust to enter it for you. That's a good idea. At least, someone that would, yeah, that's a good idea, Joyce. It's fun, and what's good about it, you're welcome, Deb. What's good about it is that they will give you a little critiquing. Either they'll say how good, and one judge may say how good this was or how good this was, or they may tell you where they think that you could improve. And you want to take that advice because these are a lot of them are judges that judge a lot of quilt shows, and all it does is improve your skills. Oh, good, Jess. Cause I'll I'll be looking. I would love to see you enter that into the state fair. Okay. Yep. Anyone else have anything that you want to add to this? Anybody? How many others has anybody or um entered any projects into their state fair wherever you are? Um, and it doesn't have to be quilted related, but it is fun to do. You're nervous the first time you ever do it. I did the county fair too up in Ohio. Um, I, and I got an honorable mention on one ribbon, and I got a blue ribbon on something else. But you know what? I don't know what it was that I got the blue ribbon on. Um, that's or the honorable mention. See, that's not good. I should have wrote it down. So if you do get your ribbons, write down on the back what they are for. Okay, let's see. Giovanna, how are you doing? I hope your eye's feeling better. So did you like this project okay? Of course you're going to tell me yes. You're going to say, no, I did not like this project. But what I think's kind of cute is if I wanted to, I could individually put the embroidery floss in between here. But I think it's kind of nice when you're getting them as gifts to, I just tacked it on, tied it on the top, and then they could cut it. But they work. Put this one in here. This one's going to go in there too because it goes with my outer fabric. Okay, Joyce, that's great. Yeah, because I started, told you about my adventures, and then I showed this. This is a very quick little project to do. And it's something that, well, you know, everybody has those little squares, orphan squares, or you can do it as leaders and enders. And before you know it, you got your little blocks. Then you can do this up, and the fabric doesn't have to match. This fabric does not match with these, but I thought the back kind of did. So another thing, it's sad, but it's not. It's because it was my decision. We have decided to put the RV up for sale. I love it. It's my little dollhouse. It's my playhouse. But we've been doing it for a lot of years, and we've been at this one campground for probably 5 years. And my husband just isn't as interested in it as I am. And here it gets real hot. And so you either stay in the air conditioning or you go to the pool, or else it's too hot for the pool. But I said, yeah, it's a motorhome. I says, let's sell it. We do the next thing, phase or whatever that we want to do, because it costs us quite a bit to keep it there. We pay a little over $800 with the lot, the space, and electricity per month. And then we also have to pay auto insurance, full coverage on our on it because it's a vehicle. We decided, you know, and I've been paying. I decided that when I was able to get Social Security, I says I'll pay for the lot rent. So I've done that, and that. So that he pays for the electric. Sometimes he pays for the lot rent because I forget to transfer the money, or I thinking, oh, I got past it enough. He hasn't said anything. Shh, don't tell him. I know he's watching this. So anyhow, at 4 o'clock, we got a call 2 days ago, and at 4 o'clock, there's someone who's interested in buying it that's coming to look at it, and it's probably a pretty serious buyer. So we had gone and gotten some of the stuff. We went the other day when I didn't get to my oral surgeon appointment because I was 2 hours early, and then so we went out to campground, and then on the way back, their electric went out, so I never did get that appointment. So while we were there, we had our bags, and we cleaned out some stuff to bring home, and that just to tidy it up, make it not so personal with us, but for them to be able to see their self in it, just like you do with a home. Yes, it is pricey. It is. But we found out, like for the swimming, it's beautiful there, but they're not having as many activities as they used to. It's always the same thing, and we're tired of it. And all the people that 4 years ago that was there that we really enjoyed, they have moved on. They've gone different places or bought homes or different things like that. So it's just not the same. So, but we decided, we had found out that there's a golf club that's like a country club, not, and you can get a membership. A yearly membership, I'm going to say between, because I can't remember, I think it's $600 to $800 for the couple. And that's to be able to use the restaurant and their swimming pool. And I thought, well, shoot, if we need to use a pool or we want to, we can go there. And it's just right around our neighborhood, about a mile away. So we decided we'd do that. Just think, you can, my account is just going to go right up. It's okay. I have my sun porch on the back of the house. It's beautiful atmosphere. The trees are around it. It's nice. It's open. It's breezy. I can go out there and I can get a very serene feeling. And so I says, I have that. And then if we want to, we can just, go to get the pool. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, at the camper, I did spend a lot of time. I went every week for a few days. But this last winter, we didn't go for a couple of months other than check on it, make sure we had propane filled and that, so it had heat. And I have gone out and I spent a little over a week ago, not a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I spent a week out there. I would be going out there this weekend or this week, but my sister from Iowa, Deb, not Deb S., but my Deb, is coming to visit me on, I think she's leaving on Thursday. And we could be there, but we took a lot of the convenient things out of there already. It's easy for me or my husband and I, because we just get, a few groceries of what we needed and be done. But it may be gone. It may be sold by then too, this weekend. So my husband, he would spend a day, or he'd spend a night, go out once in a while. I guess he kind of gave me my time out there because he knew that I really enjoyed it. It was my time to really relax. But we aren't utilizing everything the way we should. Last year, if you all remember how hot that summer was, we had so many 100-degree and more weather that you didn't go to the pool, because if you could be in the water to cool off, but you'd have to get out of the water to get the shade. Then you get too hot. So it would have been in and out, and it just wasn't going to be good for you. Judy, you thought about getting an RV? Well, that's what we have. Couldn't justify the money for it. We had gotten one that was 3 years old when we had gotten it. And so, and we did travel a little bit. We went to Missouri. We went down to Florida. I forgot where we went, but we did travel a little bit with it. And it was so convenient traveling because you had your own restroom if you had to go. You had your refrigerator that was keeping the food cold so you could cook. I mean, you could get a sandwich. I could plug in a crock pot while we were on the road and let it go. But I'm not one for, when you're in an RV, something could say it takes 5 hours to get there. But when you're in an RV, it may take you 7 hours or more because, first of all, you're being a little bit more careful. You may have a stop. You need to rest because the driver needs to rest a little bit because, that's stressful. It was 32 foot, I think. It's 32 foot RV. And then of course we had our dog, so we had to let it out. But it never was, it's not the same as in the car where they can give you estimated time and you're going to go. It just takes longer. So we had done our trip to Missouri. We went through Tennessee and all that 2 years ago. And I enjoyed it. We took probably 3.5 weeks to go. And we stayed a few days on the way down and then stayed longer at the one in Missouri. Then on the way back, we stayed a little bit longer. That was nice, but that's when we decided we just didn't want to travel anymore. We took it down to Georgia, to Atlanta. That was stressful. But you don't want to go around. You want to go around Atlanta. You don't want to go through Atlanta with the RV. It was crazy. So we just said, no, we don't want to do that. Ooh, that's cool, Gene. I wonder if does he get to rent? Well, I love the Airstreams. I just love the look of them. They're so vintage looking. She says her son is the general manager of Airstream dealership in Wyoming. Oh, Atlanta's stressful to drive through in a car. In fact, one lady, we were okay, but one lady clipped our RV just a little bit. Didn't do any damage to our RV. We didn't even stop. You don't stop. But I could see she had a nice scratch on her car. It's just, no, I don't like, no. Now, Savannah is one of my favorite places to visit. I love Savannah, Georgia. If anybody's been there, the trees, everything, it's just beautiful. Oh, yeah. You know what I said? if I need to have my fix, I got two options. First of all, we can go back to our RV resort that we're at, and they have cabins. I could rent a cabin for a week or a weekend. You have their facilities, everything. So I could do that. That would be nice. Or if I really needed a fix, I could be a glamper and get a tiny little camper for me. And I have a Mazda Tribute. It has a U-Haul hitch to it. There I go. I did drive. We had a Class C. That's one that looks like a pickup front than the RV, but you can go right through. It's still one unit. And I drove that, and I think that was 28 foot, but I drove it from Myrtle Beach to back up here. Now, Myrtle Beach, we went to Ocean Lakes a lot. We liked that. So let me see. You went to, yes, Atlanta sure is. Wow. Gene, he does work a lot then. I went to Paula Dean's restaurant too. And it might have been 15 years ago. In fact, she was there. but I didn't get to say hi or anything. I went back and could see her, but she had guests that must have evidently paid to get a tour there. So she was signing autographs and doing things like that. But we ate at a restaurant. We enjoyed that. There's a lot of history in Atlanta. It's very interesting. It's Savannah and Atlanta taking horse carriage rides. That's fun because most of the people there they know the history, and so that are the drivers of the horse team. Oh, you are the only one. Well, so Terry, I love mine. Mine is a 2005. It's maroon. I love it. It just turned a little over 100,000 miles. Goes to show how often, how far it went. What year's yours? I love it. It's never given me any trouble. I mean, we changed tires, and I might have changed. We might have changed the battery, but we haven't had any problems at all. Oh, you got auto corrected. Her brother Bubba's restaurant had a great food too. We looked at it, but we didn't go in. There, one thing about like Savannah, I like Savannah is that the waterfront. You can walk in the little shops and that. That's okay, Donnell. You're a busy woman. You're here. We're just chit chatting. Ooh, wow, that's great. What year is yours, uh, Terry? What year is your Mazda tribute? We we became a Mazda family. We used to be a Chevy because my husband worked for General Motors at one time. I mean, the company works for us, it spin off. And I have a Mazda. He has a Mazda. Two of my grandsons have Mazdas. And they're all, my husband bought his new, but well, mine was new too when I had gotten it in 205. But all the other ones were used and they work good. Ooh, what color is yours? So, Terry, I tell you, I'm proud of them. I'm proud of it. Yeah, you are a family of Georgians. I hope I said that right, Katie. Yep, your mom came from there and all that. And didn't you say you were born there? I think so. So I just want to see what titanium gray, but it looks brown. I know the color. That's nice. That's nice. Okay, have to go and get work in progress ready for grooming. Okay, whip. I love whatever vehicle gets me to point A to point B. I know. My husband says, "Do you want a new car?" And I go, "No." I says, "I love my car. I don't need it." Well, you know what? I think I'll sign off because someone else has to be coming on here. Everybody, I hope the best for you. If you're having health issues or anything, that you get good results and you have a good stitching week. I'll let you know what's up with RV. Check me out on Discord. You can check me out from my Discord, Mona's or Lisa's, and even Sean's, and Captain Stitches. I'm a busy woman. Oh no, Donnell, you did not scare everybody away. But you can watch the rerun. Run. I can't even say that when you get a chance. But thank you for all joining me. I'll try to have something good for you next week. Some new adventures. Okay. Have a good day. Bye. Well, it's not going to let me end it. Oh, I know why. I'm so used to a touch screen. At my one computer has touch screen. My iPad has touch screen. I want to touch screen this, and it doesn't want me to. End. Come on. I guess we're staying on a little longer. Well, I'll just leave the studio. See, I'm having technical difficulties yet. There, now I can. It didn't want me to be reaching